Hey, fancy seeing you here.
Hey, what's going on?
Let's go shoot a video on 5 things I like about my Z06.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Alright, so the first thing I like about this car is the power. It's got 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque. I've installed an AFE cold air intake that supposedly dynos at about 37 wheel horsepower, so it should be around closer to 600 horsepower to the wheels. This is an LT4 supercharged. So the cool thing about these cars is, I mean, it's still relatively a little bit expensive, but some cheaper mods besides doing like heads and cam, you can do pulleys, intake, which I did, which was only $350. I bought it used. It retails for like $600, got it for $350. You can do an intake X-pipe, depending on the brand. I think either Borla or Corsa makes an X-pipe that's around $300. And then you can do a tune, so you could potentially, even if you just did intake, X-pipe, and tune, you could be around $1,000, and this bad boy will get you a lot of screaming bald eagles. So it's just a fully capable motor that they're just beasts. So that's first thing. The second thing I like about this car, I don't have it off, but it's the target top. So my first car was a 91 Camaro. It was actually a hard top, so there was no T-tops. Those cars came with T-tops. But the thing about this one is that you take the target top off, you put it in the back, and you basically have a convertible. So you can't beat it. Like weather like this, it's 82 degrees right now. If we weren't doing this video, this top would be off and we would be cruising. So it's just awesome.
Everybody runs that bike.
Seriously. Should they be quarantined? Alright. So the third thing I like about this car is the handling. It's obviously Corvette, so it's known for its handling, but I don't know about the other generations. I just know about this one on the C7, which is the 2014 to 19 Corvette. Right down here you have traction control that you can turn off, but you can also select different modes. Right now I'm in Eco, so you might as well call me a Prius owner, but I'm just saving gas. You have weather, eco, touring, sport, and track. So it determines kind of how your suspension is set up. I'm either driving between eco and track. Eco if I'm just driving around. I still get all the horsepower I want, but it can turn off 4 cylinders of the car to get you better gas mileage. So either way, if I'm beating on this thing, I still get about 15 miles a gallon. On the highway, I get about 29. Which is incredible. But what I like about track mode, which is just 3 clicks over, if I can get there. Track mode, it literally, it almost feels like you don't have power steering. You just have complete control of the car. Not that you don't in any of the other modes. It's just, you just feel it more. And this is, I'm gonna pull a Christian. My sub point to my third point is the steering wheel. So I obviously like it the best when I'm in track mode, but it's just, man, it's got grip. Like my other car is a 2006 4Runner, and I was telling Christian the other day, it feels like I'm holding onto a pencil. The steering wheel is so small and so like, it's just basic. But this one is, it's just very meaty. All right, my fourth thing I like about this car is the heads-up display. You can't see it from there. If I move right here where I'm in line with the screen, I can't even see it. The heads-up display is right here. Chevy introduced the heads-up display in 1999. Here, I'll take the camera real quick. I'll show. I don't even know if you can see it. You can barely see it. There it is. So Chevy introduced the heads-up display in the Corvette in 1999. From my Googling research, I read that not all Corvettes came with them at the time, but you can actually add them now. I don't know how. I didn't do any further research. But the heads-up display is cool because it shows you you can change it between certain looks and feels. It shows you the G-force, the tachometer, the speedometer, what gear you're in, and it also, this is crazy that it does this, Big Brother's watching you. It can tell you what speed limit, what speed, where you're at, what the speed limit is. So right now it's telling me that the speed limit here is 30 miles per hour. Obviously GPS and Google and all that crazy stuff, but that's pretty legit. So if you want to obey the speed limit, you can, and it tells you what you're doing. The only downside to the heads-up display that I read, because I was kind of having this issue of when I was completely relying on the heads-up display to shift when I use the paddle shifters, is I would hit the rev limiter even though I'm shifting right at 6,500. But from what I read is that the tack here, actually right in front of you in the steering wheel, and the heads-up display, there is a very, very slight delay. So with all the power that you have, it's not, by the time you're actually shifting at 6,500, you should have already shifted about a split second sooner. So that's why you might hit the rev limiter. So from what I read on the Corvette forums is you should, if you're using the heads-up display to shift, you should shift around 62 or 63, which you can't really see it on the heads-up display. It's just a bar, so shift at 6. All right, so number 5, final thing I like about this car is the style. You look at this thing, and what I like about the Z06 to start off though is the Z06 is 3 inches wider than the base Corvette. So nothing wrong with the Stingray Corvette, it just feels like a slim car. So what I like about the Z06 is it's much wider, which leads me to point A of my 5th point, is it makes it feel like a supercar. It's got a very wide stance. I think it's got, the back tires are 20 by either 10.5 or 11, or maybe 12 inch. I don't know what they are. They're wide. It's just a beast of a car. It really looks like a supercar. Like, I feel like if I were to sit it next to, this is my opinion, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, R8s, like it keeps up with those cars as far as looks goes. Obviously it looks beautiful with the target top off. All these air vents that you see on here, the front, fully functional. A lot of cars, have a lot of fake air vents, but Chevy really designed this to use maximum use of the air, to do everything that they need this car to do, to stay cool, to be aerodynamic. Also, look at that. We'll leave that. I really like that the hood opens this way. It's just a cool feature. I like the 19-inch wheels, the 20-inch wheels, the headlights. If you want to come look at those, I don't know, the C6, wasn't really a fan of the headlights, which I think was one of the reasons why I actually went with the C7 over the C6. The C6s is just 3 little dots. What I like about these is it's very sinister looking, and then, I mean, just look at it, it's a beast. You need to turn that off. Those are 5 things I like about my 2016 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, let us know what you think in the comments. If you have a Corvette yourself, tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and we'll see you in the next video.